Hey guys, I'm Sdanwolf and welcome back to the channel. And yes, I've kind of shed the little bit of diva mood I was in at the this weekend. I've kind of moved past the our little roller coaster fiasco, and I'm feeling good again. I have designed you guys an aviary. Is that how we say it? Aviary? You know, the place where they have the little birds and you can kind of walk through it, and you know, they do like the little shows with them and they let them fly around and you can feed them and all that. An aviary. That's what I've always called it. But I have designed an aviary in the Cairo Market section that you have not seen. Besides, if you are not following me on Twitter and Instagram, which you very well should be. Because then I don't have to spam you like in the community section. I don't have to send you weird emails, you know, wanting your approval and your feedback. You can just give it to me right there in basically real time. As soon as I post it on those little channels, hit that notification bell and you can be right there with me on a Tuesday at 9 p.m. when I am not even anywhere near ready to post a video. You can keep up with these weird little updates. And so yeah, you would have known about this aviary yesterday. You would have known about it last night, and wouldn't have had to wait till this video to watch it come to life. So basically, I removed myself from the whole jungle and coaster side of the park. I was, like I said, disgusted with myself, and so I come over and started an entirely new market over here, a Cairo Market. It's very hot, very like the details in that, like that central corroborating story totally had to change from the more jungle themed, you know, kind of like the more jungle, just kind of like wet, humid story from that side of the park, you know, from the safari side and all that. We are over here in Egypt and it is hot. It is steaming over here, and that is the whole design. You know, that's kind of like the whole storytelling part over here. And I didn't record a lot of time lapse this time because I was still kind of angry, you know, just can't believe I, you know, blah, blah, blah. I can't believe I didn't, you know, save that coaster and stuff. So when I started building on this, it was kind of an angry build, like I was building, but still thinking about messing that area up over there and losing a couple of those buildings. So anyways, yeah, I jumped over here into the Cairo section, and I think it's going to work out perfect. Especially when you lead into the animals that we have over here. Dead-Eye Duck has got the lion out. He's got the male lion. We're kind of waiting for cubs and female lions and lounging around lions. So there's a lot of stuff that's kind of waiting for these guys to come up with these awesome models that they're coming up with that will take us farther into the African area. I've got a pretty good backstage built as far as the elephants go. Really neat stuff going on over here, where as far as you could take, like, this is where the backstage elephant access would be, where you could watch them, you know, being, you know, fed back here, or if there's veterinary care going on, or they're washing them, you know, got out the big hoses, just that general behind the scenes stuff when they're not actually in the enclosure and in the habitat. All of that is going to go down over here in the northern African, you know, Cairo side. So we've got the aviary up, we've got the backstage of the elephants we're working on. I'm thinking about starting another coaster over here. I'm going to get a flat ride in. Some people were even saying this might be a good area for like a Falcon's Fury type of drop ride. We'll kind of have to see how the tower, you know, messes with the sight line over here. So definitely want to start working on a coaster. You guys really love the junior coaster that we put in over on the jungle side. And so yeah, let's go ahead and we'll just pop out of here a minute. We'll take our time. I'll share some thoughts with you. I'll show you the whole little Cairo Market layout area. And you know, that's a good time to get some feedback from you guys and just kind of see what you're thinking about this whole little market area and the direction that we've taken developing on this side of the park. So let's go ahead and we'll jump into the real time real quick. Hey guys, all right, here we are in the front of the Cairo Market section, and let's get some stuff out of the way too before we dive too deep into this. This weekend, I've got a lot of interesting stuff going on. Either tomorrow evening or Friday, I'll be recording with HPK and Beyond Drew TV on the Lunawood log flume that I built them. So I will be jumping on with those guys, and you can find that video whenever Drew gets around to editing it and putting it on his channel. So don't forget to go subscribe to Beyond Drew TV to catch up with that live build, or not that live build, but that build review that I'll be doing with those guys, and we'll dive into all types of stuff. We're going to talk about the fourth franchise of what Frontier has coming out, speculating all that stuff. Really interesting stuff we will be going over on Beyond Drew's channel. And on Friday, the camel himself, Mr. Rudy, is going to be showcasing the Hawaiian restaurant that I built for him on Isla Nepali. So definitely go and check out his channel. And then on my channel, probably Sunday, I'll put out that video of Isla Nepali, that restaurant that I built. So we won't be on a video together, but we'll be putting out both of our perspectives on the Hawaiian restaurant that I built that you guys may have caught on social media at the beginning of this week. Yeah, so those will be coming out. And also starting to get some stuff together for another TMTK review episode. Had some people send me some stuff they want me to review, so definitely be on the lookout for that, probably early next week. But yes, so now that we've got that out of the way, let's jump into the market. And what I was saying, guys, is this Cairo Market, I mean, real quick, we'll jump back over to the like the Morocco market over here. Like, well, not necessarily Morocco, but like the jungle market. So see, when you're over here, everything's like just cool, and it's like almost like a humid over here. There's lots of bright, cool colors just popping out all over the place. We've got Mwangas down there at the end. We've got the slides, just a lot of shade. You've got the whole like really tropical feel over here. Everything's just tropical and shaded, like there would be it's just cool over here. And then though, when you back out and you come back across the safari, look how I've got this design. See how everything over here just seems hotter? Like this is a really arid, arid part of the park, but it's the same park. So that just goes to show you, if you guys can get in here and you can work and mess around with your colors and the foliage, and even down to the path work that you choose, it's amazing that the entire shift, the whole different type of story that you can tell, and just by the angle that you build it from the sun in the game on the time you play it. So basically this whole park is being played at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and just look at the massive difference just in lining up this shopping district with the sun going that way than if you're building it, like I said, in the safari section going that way. So that is, it all kind of falls into the storytelling and transporting the guests, making them believe that over here, this is Northern Africa. It's, a little hotter, not as much shade. And it's just, it really, I think, can help just immerse the guests in that whole feel. So this is actually going to be a two-tiered shopping center. I don't really have this set up very accessible as far as ADA goes right now. So we need to probably think about either creating some kind of ramp on the back side of this, or essentially flipping this over and maybe making that a ramp, just to keep with that whole believability section. I don't know, maybe we'll leave the stairs and we'll do a ramp somewhere else, but yeah, that is kind of like what is going on here. You make your way down through here, a lot of different drink shops, a lot of gift shops, a lot of filler buildings. And like I said, everything keeps to that really, you know, Egyptian, really arid browns and tans. Not a whole lot of pops of color. The pops of color are really, really subtle over here in the you know, in the Cairo market, in the Egyptian area. A lot of our color comes out from the foliage over here, essentially. Another thing I wanted to show you guys, because it's so hot up here, and if, you know, they bring the little kids over here, they're going to be miserable and really, really hot on this side of the park, or so they think. I have got a splash pad over here. So this is the ire of a lot of parents. The kids get absolutely soaked. Their pants are soaked. Their shoes are soaked. You know, if they don't let them take their shoes off. And but I thought, what better to do over here in this really, really burning up section of the park, over here in the North Africa section, than to have a little splash pad. So we've got the little Sphinx here from Blackman's Shadow off the TMTK site, and I thought that tied in really well, just to, you know, give a little bit of character over here to the splash pad. Of course, I've got a lot more filler buildings to go in over here. I actually brought in my bazaar from the from Adventureland over in Disney. I know it just probably a video ago I talked about not bringing in blueprints, but I thought right here that worked really well to kind of, if you've got the upper tier and the turn of the market right here, that Zanzibar type of Cairo market, I think is going to work out really, really well as people make their way, like I said, up this upper tier. And another reason, I guess the main reason you're here, is I wanted to show off the Aviary. So there's been a lot of talk about what we need to do with this door. I haven't decided yet, but the general consensus is a lot of people do not like this gate. And Gert was telling me that it all looks really good, but it's kind of a put off with the two different doors right here. So you guys kind of need to maybe give me your feedback. Maybe I was thinking one solution is to get rid of this door, box it off, and just make the inside area, maybe make one door right here where the guests can kind of come through this building. And, you know, the building flanks both sides of the Aviary, so you don't really have to worry about the birds flying out. But, you know, at the same time, this is one of those things where I figured they could close this gate at night, and none of the birds would really get out anyway, because even in Animal Kingdom, they do these bird shows. They don't have a lot of they don't really have a big giant aviary where they do this at, and the birds don't really fly off as long as the handlers are in here and they're passing out food. I brought in Dead-Eye Duck's little parrots here. The only thing that would be cooler about these is if I could actually recolor their bodies. Unfortunately, right now you can only recolor that little spot on the back of their tail. And then of course I've brought in the crows from the Spooky Pack, so that really helps tell the story better here. But as far as them flying out, I don't think you would have to worry about as far as them coming out of the little door right here, especially with all the attendants and you know, the biologists and the zoologists kind of being in there doing shows and feeding them and you know, just kind of doing all the educational stuff and pointing out that they would do, you know, kind of in a real situation like this. So I don't know if I'll get rid of the door or if we'll just have it implied that the guests would actually walk through there. I guess one thing I could do is maybe put up one of those guest attention posts and put an actual little skinny path that goes through there, and then the guests would really essentially walk in here and it would look like they're interacting with the actual Aviary. But right now I think that spot worked out perfect here at the end of kind of all these filler buildings and the shopping and the restroom. I just think that little spot right here worked out perfect. At first I was thinking about like forming, like maybe trying to do a big like Egyptian clock tower right there, but when I started thinking about the Aviary and the requests that have come in for the Aviary, I thought I've got the perfect spot for that. And yeah, so I think that worked out really well over there. I've got a lot of detailing left to do on the front of the market area. And of course, I've got to kind of, you know, finish off these buildings and kind of make this turn right here. A lot of little stuff going on. A lot of people were saying need to extend the train and actually maybe bring it over here through these market areas, like not right through it, but maybe kind of curve it around so the people can be brought by the Cairo area, especially if we do like a camel pen over here. Remember, Castaway has got us some camels on the workshop, and I can confirm that Miss Red Nebula is working right now on horses, and we were saying that that is, you know, probably really going to lead to the gazelles and all types of different hooved animals that we kind of need over here, because right now, you know, we have our giraffes and our zebras, kind of like our little you know, our little zebra herd going on over here, but it would be really cool to see different herds of the antelopes and all of that different type of safari, you know, type of plain animals that you would see, you know, just as far as like a big safari like this would go. So anybody that's new, yes, this is the whole safari section over here. This is what we showed just a little bit ago. This is the kind of like the safari cliffside market, you know, that has its views and stuff that kind of run along the cliff of the safari. This is over here is like the, I put in a request too for people to work on rhinos. So really right now that, you know, I am kind of at the mercy of those incredible modelers, you know, kind of getting the different animals going. And as soon as they put out animals, the sooner I can start working on new enclosures. So like I said, I absolutely cannot give a big enough shout out to Jonty and Mass Bandit for bringing all of the attention over to the safari type genre that we've kind of been messing with for a long time now. And when those guys started Uzuri Gardens, it just, you know, it triggered an explosion of the modelers focusing their attention on animals. Like Deadeye Duck has a stingray that's getting ready to come out, and that, it just looks really incredible. He was sending me some screenshots of that, and that leads us into our next part. The sharks might be a little unpopular, but the Shark Lagoon is officially gone. Honestly, I was never really feeling the Shark Lagoon too much. And when Deadeye Duck came out with these tigers, I just knew I wanted to do the tigers a really cool exhibit. And the sharks were just, they felt out of place because I don't think you would have a big shark type enclosure amongst all these just regular, like these African animals and these African enclosures. So I did have to make the decision. I'm sorry for any of you guys that love that Shark Lagoon. But if it's any solace to you, I did tell Deadeye Duck, because he was like, oh man, I've made these manta rays, maybe you could put them over in the shark section. And I was like, ooh, about that. The Shark Lagoon is kind of gone. So if it's any correlation, I'm thinking maybe one day we go back and revisit, and maybe I can make just a standalone aquarium with all of those aquatic animals. Like, you know, Rudy's got orcas coming out. We've got the sharks, the manta rays, all type of koi fish that these people have created. So maybe that can be a standalone project way far down the road. But for right now, it was too good of an opportunity to pass up, to not give the tigers, you know, to not give the tigers a good cool home and a good cool enclosure kind of back here. And now the Shark Lagoon area can essentially just serve as a, you know, like a nature research center and a tiger center. So we'll put the little tiger backstage area up over here where they, you know, where they can bring them inside. And if they have to do any veterinary work, we can kind of get the backstage work done kind of over there. Whereas first, you guys might have caught a quick tweet about this, but look how tiny their original home was going to be. Like, this right here was going to be the tiger section, and I started looking at it more and more, and it was just, for me, it was such an eyesore. The sharks just did not fit. And now look, the people can stand up here, look over the glass railing, and just admire all this. I was even thinking about putting in an underground glass section right here so the guests could go down and see the tigers up close. But just, you know, I can close this off and save this side for another animal or a completely different enclosure, you know, kind of separate them from the tiger spot. But lots of work to do, guys. So obviously the whole shark reef, I've got to get rid of it. Maybe I can put a restaurant right there, some kind of tiger-themed restaurant, or maybe put a ride right there or something. I might leave my old Dutch trading company right here because that kind of still fits with the whole vibe. But I need to do some new little facades right here that kind of reinvent this area. But anyways, guys, yeah, I'm sorry for keeping you here for 20-30 minutes while I babble on, but I just wanted to show you the rebound from the coaster exchange. So this is what's new. This is what's happening in the safari park world right now. And another thing I was thinking about doing, a lot of you guys have requested, I think when I get the Egypt section done, I am going to put this part of the park on the workshop. So what we'll do is I'll put it on there and I'll just put a February build. And that way you guys can actually get in here and get in the park, and I think it will help you guys just giving me more feedback, and you guys can actually get in here and get up close and look at all the detail I've poured into this, and I think that will add another dynamic. You guys not having to wait until this is over to get in here and essentially look around. Maybe you can help shape the place while it's still being built. And really, guys, the only thing I ask in exchange for putting this park on the workshop is just have fun with it. I want you to enjoy it, have fun with it, reach out to me, tell me what looks right, tell me what you would change, and essentially doing that, having it on the workshop, having this February build ready, you guys can actually send me pictures of what you've done, what you've changed, and I think it would really help the longevity of the series, and I think it would help us just get this the best little safari park that it can be. So yes, be on the lookout for that. I think, like I said, once we get a little more done, let's go ahead and throw this on the workshop and let you guys experience at least the February side of things, and maybe at the the end of March or maybe the beginning of April, when we get more done and more animals are introduced, we'll throw another version on there. So anyways, guys, yeah, I'm Sdanwolf. Don't forget to smash that like button if you end up enjoying this clip, and don't forget to subscribe for more Planet Coaster content and Planet Safari Park content. And like always, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for hanging out with me, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you. See ya.